every every step I take, every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know, where I cannot go, where I long to be. Good sound. Okay, boys and girls, this is take 2. I thought today was a good day. I thought I was finally recording myself and the sound was perfect and the camera was perfect. And then the sound was all distorted and the camera was wrongly angled and I looked like a munchkin and it looked really bad and everything was so bad. Now I need to record everything once again. Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Hilal. I'm your İngilizce hocanız, one and only İngilizce hocanız. I'm back with another pronunciation video. First, I need to apologize for the delayed YDS video. I actually shot it outside on the 19th of May, but I was too nervous to be talking to myself outside in public. There were a lot of kids around and I did not want to show their faces because why would I exploit other people's kids? Because I'm a decent human being. I couldn't edit all of them out from the footage. I had to, blur all of their faces and everything and it was too much and I couldn't even make any jokes during my lesson and it was horrible without making jokes. So I decided to throw it in the rubbish and get rid of it so I can record a full video. On Wednesday, I'm going to record the same questions once more. But sweeping declaration, I am not cut out to record outside. We understand this. Now, today we have 12 different words that we are going to look at their pronunciation of. First of all, let's start with an easy one. This is A1 level vocab. This word, how do you pronounce this? I know that it has this word, which is pronounced like break with A, but this is actually a compound word. So compound words have different pronunciations sometimes, and this is one of them. We need to make the sound e instead of a, so we say breakfast, not breakfast. I hear generally break, but it should be breakfast. Here is an example sentence. We have breakfast at 8 a.m. That's it. That's how you pronounce it. How do you read this? I generally hear table in the end. Don't do it. Do not do it. We need to pronounce it as vegetable because this has nothing to do with a table. When you say vegetable, I imagine you saying this. This is a vegetable, you see? But this is a vegetable. I eat vegetables every day is a good pronunciation. Okay? Good? We're good? I'm moving on to A2. Now, let's try this. Many of you pronounce this correctly. That's good. You say knife, and that's correct. Perfect. It's like the word no. We do not pronounce k sound right here. But there is something more interesting about this word, particularly when we make this in plural form, we need to switch the f sound to v sound. So we make knife, knives, when we make it plural, to make the s sound a little bit easier to pronounce. That is why we put v. Let's see it in a sentence in singular form. Be careful with the knife, it's sharp. Too much caffeine makes your eye twitch like this. Now, let's move on to 4. Let's say, yeah, some of you know this, but even higher level students may pronounce it as island, but it is actually pronounced island. Just like this word here is pronounced as isle. As you know, we do not like to pronounce some sounds in English. In this case, we do not say s sound and we just skip it like aisle. An example sentence: they live on a small island. Next, this. What do you think? What do you think? I'm thinking you may say comfortable, you may say comfortable. Still, it has nothing to do with tables. We do not say table. We just say comfortable. And when we say it, we do not pronounce the R sound, as you may not hear it when I say comfortable. You see it's written like this in phonetic alphabet. So, do you see an R here? No. For example, this chair is very comfortable. By the way, I'm lying. This chair is not comfortable at all. It'll take getting used to because this is a habit for many of you. But I believe in you lads. Now, let's move on. This is an interesting one and I actually got a story about this. When I was in high school, I had this amazing teacher. She was like very fluent, almost like native, and she adopted this American accent and she would pronounce this word as schedule. But when I started taking my CELTA courses from Cambridge University, I had this teacher trainer, very strong British accent, and she would say schedule. And I've realized because I'm teaching IELTS most of the time, I need to adopt that way of saying it. They say old habits die hard, so sometimes I say schedule, sometimes I say schedule. Depends on my mood, but when I teach IELTS courses, I always tell my students that it's pronounced schedule in British so that they listen accordingly. When they hear it in their listening test, they would understand better. So it's just something to get out there. Let's check the next one. I use this word a lot because it's a very common word to use in day-to-day life. I'm surprised that I need to explain what it means every single lesson. My students, even the ones who had prior English lessons, do not know about this. This actually reads as subtle. Subtle for American.
Very subtle. Very subtle. I like that.
It means when we talk about a change or a distinction, we mean so delicate, so little. It's hard to describe the difference, for example. It's very little, very small. When we say this, and I see this on a daily basis, and I use it on a daily basis, so you should also know this. We do not pronounce B, meaning in English, we hate pronouncing B right before T. Let's move on. Lots of learners have a hard time saying this because it is derived from French. This is genre. There is a direct translation of it in English language, gender, but we use gender mostly for male or female sex when we generally talk about the cultural or stereotypical situations of sexes. But the word genre that we directly take from French is used for just a type when it comes to art, music, literature. So when it comes to artsy stuff, we use this to mean a type. This is a struggle for us people in general because there are too many C's and too little practice when it comes to saying this. And I know you may find yourself trying to say conscience or something like that. I've heard too many times, but it is actually pronounced as conscience, meaning knowing what's right or wrong. An example sentence like this: when in doubt, just listen to your conscience. The next one, this is again from French. So when something is French and there is an S in the end, you do not pronounce it. After English classes, I'm going to start a French class. If you take that French class, you will understand what I mean by that. This is pronounced as debris. debris, meaning scattered pieces of rubbish. For example, the debris was cleared after the explosion. The little pieces of a construction site, for example, debris. And our next word was actually tackled in one of the episodes of Friends, right here. You try. Meaning, according to what is generally assumed or believed. It is pronounced supposedly. All right, now listen to Chandler saying it.
Or even worse, what if I already found her, but I dumped her because she pronounces it supposedly?
And obviously, there are some people saying supposedly.
Supposedly. Supposedly. Did they go to the zoo? Supposedly.
Anyways, here's an example sentence with supposedly. He is supposedly an expert in the field. And the final word of the day is this. Yeah, I know it's not very hard to pronounce, but I have some good news to share. That is why I'm giving you this word. I'll be using this meaning of it generally, a specialized segment of a product. I had to switch cameras. Now, I'm starting a show called Niche Grammar and Niche Vocabulary. I'm going to be going live on YouTube and then sharing the live footage as videos where I teach right here on this board some niche grammar, like the grammar that we do not learn during the classes because they are not very much common, but they are academically or business-wise very useful when you are presenting something in English. And the vocabulary for business, for niche subjects. We are going to tackle a lot of vocabulary on Thursdays, and on Tuesdays we will be doing the grammar part. So that is why I'm using this word niche today. This is very exciting because this is my first time doing something like that. I have too much information in my brain that I need to get rid of, and I'm going to use this platform to share it with each and every one of you. And that's it, I guess. Niche is something that we will be seeing a lot. Now, as I shared the good news, that's it for today. I may leave now. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!